Hello, I'm Keith Casebolt from Creative Media of Kentucky. Congratulations on entering into the world of politics. Now, your upcoming race is going to require all of your focus on the issues and those who are going to possibly vote for you. So, the one thing that you don't need to worry about is the media. I'm talking bumper stickers, billboards, newspaper print, radio, television, digital. Who do you buy? Cable, broadcast. There's a lot of decisions to be made. We're the experts at that. We take all of that off your plate, put your campaign together, and handle all of the buying and all of the production. Now that gives you the time to do what you need to. Meet all of the voters, focus on the issues, and get elected. Give us a call at Creative Media of Kentucky.
I'm Gary C. Johnson. You've seen these billboards and ads that say size matters. I agree. The size that matters is the size of the results the law firm gets for their clients. We have several multi-million-dollar verdicts here in Kentucky. In fact, our firm owns the record for the single largest personal injury verdict in the state of Kentucky. That's the size that matters to you. In Kentucky, give our firm the call.
If you're hurt, injured, don't waste time. Gary Johnson cries for every dime.
Welcome to Simply the Law of Life, a program created by attorney Gary C. Johnson. Simply the Law of Life provides free legal advice and encourages happiness and quality of life. Now, here's Simply the Law of Life with Gary C. Johnson and Keith Casebolt.
Hello everyone, welcome into the radio program Simply the Law of Life. I'm Keith Casebolt, my dear friend who talks about the laws of life, Gary C. Johnson. So good to see you.
It is so wonderful.
Man.
It is amazing how wonderful it is to be here, my friend.
I'm telling you, you got me high on this thing called life. All the sunshine we had last week, the blue skies.
My fall and this broken shoulder and all that made me come to grips with my own mortality, literally.
Yeah.
And believe it or not, it made the sky much bluer. It made the trees much greener.
Oh, yeah.
It made the people around me much more handsome. It's amazing the difference it makes when you make that realization.
But let me ask you this question. This is all coming from a guy that probably, if we'd asked you 2 months ago, could you be more appreciative of life than you are? You would have said, probably no. I love life. I appreciate it. I have a reverence for it. It's fantastic. You would have thought at the time that there's no way you could have loved it anymore.
It's the truth. I would have said that. But I was wrong.
Because once it was taken away.
Once you realize that in a blink of an eye,
yeah,
everything can change. Then, and you come to grips with that, that's when you realize how precious every second is.
You've talked about this time and time again, that people that are horribly injured, they get up, they're going to start their day, they have their little list of things they're going to do. I've got to be here, I've got to do this, and they never expect it to turn on a dime.
That's right.
Much like what happened to you.
Absolutely.
I mean, you're doing all of these errands, you're out, and the next thing you know, you're in the hospital. It happened that quick.
And it can happen to anyone. And it just changes literally for me. And I've seen it in my clients.
Mm-hmm.
The change.
See, that's the thing that gets me. You've been around it for all these years. You have empathy. You have understanding. You've seen what it's done to people. You have a reverence for life. But still, when it happened to you, there was a change that came over you.
I used to think, foolishly, not understanding, that a broken bone is a broken bone.
What's the big deal? It's a broken bone.
It's a broken bone, and a broken bone over time will heal.
Yeah, it's going to heal.
I had never really appreciated all the things that's attached to that bone.
What it allowed you to do?
Yeah, all the tendons and ligaments and muscles and all those things that bone needs to be able to do anything. I never realized that when your system takes a shock of that broken bone, that it impacts everything else in your body.
The trauma.
Literally.
Uh-huh.
Your entire system sort of shuts down. And I guess those of you that's been through it and my friends out there that have had it happen to you, you know what I'm talking about. I guess until you've lived it, you don't. But
the hardest way in the world to become an expert.
Well, what do they say? You only learn from experience, and a fool learns no other way.
Yeah, talk to me a little bit about that. Even though, again, I started this out with, I think you have the most reverence for life of anybody I've ever met. And yet, after this accident, I've seen the change. You have had more empathy toward people who have been injured and what it's done to them than anybody in the world. But now, how has that changed since you've gone through it?
It's doubled.
Easily,
or
right?
tripled, or 10 times.
Yeah.
Because now I understand. And I guess until you've been through it, and you can talk about it, and you can preach about it, and you can do all of those things, and you can say, oh, yes, I see the situation. But until you've lived it yourself, you really don't understand the meaning of mental anguish and pain and suffering that people go through that have been hurt, that have been injured.
You know, we say little things. I want to give you this example last week because I was thinking about the program you and I did last week, and I was getting up and getting ready, and my wife said, what time do you have to be at work? And I said, I don't have to be. I get to go at 7:30. And she was like, what's all that about? I said, that's from the radio program that Gary and I did. We use that term, I have to be at work. Mm-mm. No, now the term is, I get to go.
I get to go, and I'm able to go.
I'm physically able to go. And happy to go.
Mm-hmm.
It's a complete
it's a complete change in your life, and it goes back to attitude. How many times have we talked about attitude on this show over the years? There's 4 things that we have here that I want to talk to you folks about on attitude. The first is how you view yourself decides your attitude. If you view yourself as a good, decent, hardworking, honorable person, then that's the attitude you'll have.
Mm-hmm.
If you view yourself otherwise, as a miserable, beat down, woe is me, I have no hope, that's what your attitude will be.
You know, Gary, when you say that first line, I think about how simple it is. If we get a new shirt, and we get up in the morning and we put on the new shirt, and we look in the mirror and go, boy, I like this shirt, it looks good on me. That's a picture of ourselves, of confidence, or we're feeling good about ourselves because of the way we picture ourselves.
Now, once you do that, once you paint the portrait of yourself to yourself as being worthy, which you are.
Of course.
No question about that. Then that attitude will give you and make you accessible to others.
Because we want to be around people that feel good, are positive, are upbeat, that make us smile.
Right. And you'll have access then.
Yeah, because
if you don't, you won't.
You're going to be locked out of the club.
Right. And the other one is, once you have the access, then you have an opportunity, as I guess Joel Osteen once said, to get favor.
Well, it's true. You can't make it through this life without having a friend or a favor or somebody giving you a leg up.
I mean, that's right.
Very few people, some people will say, oh, you're self-made, self-made. I'll guarantee you, if you look into everybody's background, there was someone that gave some encouragement or did a favor or gave them information or put them on the right track.
Oh, I'm self-made with all of those people around me doing
Well, you've even talked about in your own life as far back as your teachers.
Absolutely.
That encouraged you in school, which led to you making the decision to go to college, which led to you making the decision to go to be a lawyer.
The most underrated people and jobs, in my opinion, in this nation is the jobs of teachers. They are the ones that literally shape the lives of our children.
Yeah.
I had extraordinary teachers when I was growing up. They made the difference in what I became.
Think of that. At that young age, the people that were entrusted to teach you made a decision and they made a difference in your life that set the stage for your whole career.
And it's happening every day with teachers out there right now. If I was going to really try to teach a young lawyer what to do as far as a trial, I would recommend to them that they take some courses in how to be a teacher.
Because of the importance that you feel of it.
Yeah. It's that credit. I think it's critical.
And
all you teachers out there, if any of you are listening, thank you for doing what you're doing. You don't get the credit you deserve. You sure don't get the money you deserve.
Amen.
And our priorities in this country are different, are wrong in that sense.
And most people don't know your first chosen profession that you were going into. You were going to be a teacher.
There shouldn't be anybody paid any more money to do a job than our teachers.
Gary, that's a great point, because look what we're doing. We're sending our children, our greatest asset, our future, everything, and we're putting them in their hands to mold them and to shape them into the young men and young women they're going to be.
Right.
Our future's on the line.
And it should be the best of the best, and that's what we have right now, except they don't get the, what would I say, the recognition.
The recognition,
or
the pay.
The compensation that they should be getting for that amazing, important job they're doing.
Hey, mark one up for all the teachers right there. You heard it straight from Gary C. Johnson.
Yeah.
And it's because you believe in it, because you know what it did for you.
So if you do your attitude, my friends, you stand a chance of really having this reverence for life.
Mm-hmm.
But it all starts with how you view yourself. And please, when you get up tomorrow morning or whenever, say to yourself, I am important. I am relevant. I really feel good about being alive. And I get to go to work. I have an opportunity to go to work. And I have an opportunity to hang out with people. And I have an opportunity to enjoy my dash.
Gary, people are going to listen to this radio program and you know, they're going to say, wait a minute, you guys you're in the booth, you're just talking. Are you telling me it's as simple as I wake up and I look at myself and say I'm worthy? I see my self-portrait as somebody that is deserving and worthy. It's going to change my attitude, and all of a sudden I'm going to start smiling and I'm going to be happy to do the job that I'm doing, and then it's going to give me access to people higher up who are going to notice the change in me, and they're going to befriend me and move me on up the ladder.
It will change your entire life if you're not doing it. Now, a lot of my friends are already doing that. They understand. But those of you that may have slid or backslid a little bit over time, remember, you're one of a kind. You're unique. If you don't believe me, go find somebody else that's got your fingerprints.
Okay, let me ask you about that backsliding, because we all do that. You know, you and I had to run some replays, and I wrote you a note and said, please get back. Get back. The therapy sessions, I need them. I'm falling back into the rut of getting upset over little things that don't matter. What kind of little things that maybe you had on your list suddenly went away when all of this trauma took place to you, that you felt no longer they were big enough to worry about?
I become absolutely convinced that Johnson rule number 1 was true. Okay? That no matter what's happening out there, it don't matter.
Ooh, the first priority is to be here. And if we can be here and be healthy enough, you know, a week or two ago when we did the first show, you said, this is the first day that I've been able to be in my vehicle and drive my vehicle by myself.
Remember, no matter what happens in life, it could be good, it could be bad, time will tell.
Mm-hmm.
This reverence for life and this understanding that I now have from having my fall and this broken shoulder was probably a good thing for me, this happening to me.
And this is coming from a guy that I would say didn't need it.
It made me more, I guess, aware of everything around. It made me much more appreciative of my wife, Anita, and how bad I needed her. It brought to my attention, I was a person that would never take a pill, okay?
Mm-hmm.
And I'd been putting off taking one that I needed because I don't take pills, right?
Yeah, until you were in the pain that you were in.
And it's not a pain pill, but it made me start taking that pill, and it's made a big difference in my life, my ability to sleep, my ability to do whatever I'm doing, which is a good thing for me.
Mm-hmm.
So when you look at this broken shoulder and shoulder replacement and all this bad things that you would say happened to you, in the end, it's probably a good thing it happened to me.
Not to say that you would recommend
I wouldn't recommend anybody going doing it.
going through it.
So I can see a whole lot of good that come from this that has changed things for me. And
now, let me ask you the big question, because, you know, probably all of us listening at one time or another have had something that scared us, or we've had to be in the hospital, and we felt what you're feeling, only for a couple of weeks or a couple of months for it to start dimming a little bit and us going right back into the same old routine and grind. How do you hold on to this, what you've got right now? How do you take control of it and keep it on the level that it's at?
You put it in the middle of your head and you plant it there and you never turn it loose. You put it right there in the forehead. And it's an understanding. I think we're all, how many times have I said we're all connected in one way or the other?
Mm-hmm.
It helped me with that connections. So it'll be okay, folks. Could be good, could be bad. I'm telling you right now, and looking at it and what's happened to me since I broke my shoulder and had to have a brand new one, for me, it was a good thing it happened.
You know, I've got a good friend that runs an auto dealership, and he had a near-death experience. And when he got out, he said, I'll never let little problems bother me again. And it was about 6 months later, and he said, you know, I got mad at myself because I let one little thing upset me, and I want to hold on, and I want to keep what I had when I got out of the hospital. I don't want to ever go back to the way it was.
That's right, you don't.
And he said, I stopped it. So once you get this feeling,
once you get to the point to where you understand your own mortality, it changes things in your life.
Yeah.
You don't go around thinking, well, I'm going to live forever, and you understand how important each minute and each second becomes.
Yeah, it's not the 20 years or the 30 years.
It's not someday I will. Oh no, I'm doing it today.
Today is the day. Now is the time. We had a program on now.
Mm-hmm.
You remember we talked about now's the time.
That's right.
There is no time in the future. It's the only time is now, and even if you're in the future, that time is now.
It's like saying, well, you got a bucket list. We're starting the buckets today, my friends.
You know, what you're talking about is so important because there's people that's dealing with depression. There's people who have major problems. It could be relationship problems. It could be job problems. It could be financial problems. And I know, Gary, there's somebody right now sitting here saying, but Gary, if you only knew my situation, if you only knew what I'm going through, you wouldn't be so happy and you wouldn't be talking into that microphone saying I should be appreciative. You would be just like me and be upset.
Can you breathe? Can you walk? Can you move around? Can you talk? Do you have your health at all, any part of it? Can you look at the sky and see how beautiful it is? Can you look at the trees? Can you understand that that's what matters? That all of these other things, since you're alive, you can handle it. And you are handling it, my friends. Just remember your attitude. Your attitude. Now, if you've succumbed to those things, and if you let it make you totally miserable, and if you let it make you angry, and you let it make you strike out, then you will never, ever overcome the misery that's in your life. But if you sit back and say, okay, I'm going to decide that I'm alive.
Yeah.
And go from there.
Well, you know, when I first talked to you, there was the Gary C. Johnson attitude. I said, Gary, oh my God, horrible. Your arm's broken. You're going to have this shoulder replacement. And the first thing you said is it could have been worse.
Amen.
It could have killed me. I could have hit my head. This could have happened. That could have happened. So right off the bat, your attitude was, okay, it was bad, but it could have been a lot worse.
And then I started searching for what the good was in it that happened in my life. And overall, I have to say it's probably a good thing it happened to me. Under the old things, it could be good, it could be bad, time will tell.
Yeah. I said it a couple of weeks ago. Anyone that meets you, anyone is going to see a smile on your face.
That's right.
They're going to see a happy Gary C. Johnson because of that reverence for life. But what you read from those principles, your self-portrait, how you see yourself as a person that loves life, that has a reverence for life, and is happy to be here, and is going to drink up every second of this life that there is to offer.
Every tenth of a second.
And that makes the attitude.
Absolutely.
Which then does the change of accessibility, which does the success. And that's what we started talking about this year.
Favor.
And the favors. Yeah. Because people want to be around people like you.
People want to be around people that are happy. They don't want to be around people that are miserable. I don't. Do you?
No. No. Oh, no. No, trust me. Once you get to the point to where you are, whenever there's someone that's miserable that comes around and wants to bring you down, it's like a cancer. You just can't wait to get away from it.
That's right.
You want to run. And I love what you say, that you control that permission. Sorry, I can't allow you to take any of this time away from me. I'm too busy being happy.
Absolutely. Looking for the good rather than the bad.
And there's a lot of good out there.
Absolutely. And anything, if you search for it, you'll find it.
All right. Remember the 4 things Gary just said to you? The first, your self-portrait will decide your attitude. That is all about how you see yourself. Once you establish the attitude will give you access to people, to jobs, to mentors, to friends. And that access will then bring you favor. Maybe someone will hire you. Maybe they'll give you information. They'll promote you, befriend you. But it all starts with how you see yourself. We can't expect anybody to like us if we don't like ourselves.
It'll not happen.
100%. My friends, I hope that you take this information, and if it just touches one of you, as Gary has always said, Anita says, strike the match.
That's right.
And if it's one person, then we've done our job. If you'd like to get in touch with Gary, you can do that. Gary at GaryCJohnson.com. You can leave him a message. My friend, Again, so good to see you.
It's so good to be seen, my friend.
On behalf of Gary C. Johnson, I'm Keith Casebolt. Thank you so much for taking time to tune into this program. As always, Gary and I look forward to seeing you again next week, right here at this same time.
Thank you for listening to Simply the Law of Life, a program created by attorney Gary C. Johnson. Until next week, may you be safe, blessed, and happy.
If you're hurt, injured, don't waste time. Gary Johnson cries for every dime.
I'm Gary C. Johnson. You've seen these billboards and ads that say size matters. I agree. The size that matters is the size of the results the law firm gets for their clients. We have several multi-million-dollar verdicts here in Kentucky. In fact, our firm owns the record for the single largest personal injury verdict in the state of Kentucky. That's the size that matters to you. In Kentucky, give our firm the call.
Hello, I'm Keith Casebolt from Creative Media of Kentucky. Congratulations on entering into the world of politics. Now, your upcoming race is going to require all of your focus on the issues and those who are going to possibly vote for you. So, the one thing that you don't need to worry about is the media. I'm talking bumper stickers, billboards, newspaper print, radio, television, digital. Who do you buy? Cable, broadcast. There's a lot of decisions to be made. We're the experts at that. We take all of that off your plate, put your campaign together, and handle all of the buying and all of the production. Now that gives you the time to do what you need to. Meet all of the voters, focus on the issues, and get elected. Give us a call at Creative Media of Kentucky.